hang on. For those who are just joining, today we're finishing off a fundraising project by creating a sunflower live. So this is a fundraiser. I am not taking ad money from this video, and there will be a donation link to donate to World Central Kitchen, which is providing meals to refugees fleeing from fleeing from what we know they're fleeing from just now. So I just want to thank everyone who donated last week. That was fantastic. There was some lovely donations there. But at the same time, if you can't afford to donate, thank you for joining me anyway. Or if you don't want to donate, thank you for joining me. Every watch, every like, every comment also helps raise awareness for things as well, and helps me as well. I love having people to talk to on a Sunday. So what I'm doing, because I was just winging it last week, I just thought let's do a sunflower. I didn't really have the colors. I just had a random box of yellows, but they were more golden yellow. And I made where we've got to so far, but I want to add some darker petals for the behind of the main petals. And I only really had these kind of screaming bright orange colors or a brown. Ooh, picking up stuff. So all I've done is I've taken a bit of the orange, a bit of yellow just to tie it in with being yellow, and a bit of the brown to make it a more shaded color. Let's just pull you into the stream. Let's so we can get some kind of just a darker color for the background, but it's a mix of everything. So if anyone hasn't blended colors before, you can use dog slicker brushes for this, or carding brushes. But I am just using my hands. If you're just doing a small amount, then you can just use your hands. So literally, if you just gently hold the very tips and pull, the fibers blend, like pull across each other in a random fashion. So you'll get some of some color on one side, some of some color on the other side, and you just stack them on top of each other. And just, I'm not tearing, I'm just letting the fibers slip across each other. And this, it gives a very nice, if you're looking for like a brindle dog color or some kind of variegated shading, because you can see I'm getting like stripes of color in. And the more I do this, the more it becomes one color. But I don't necessarily want this. What I tend to do, I don't necessarily blend it till it's all one homogeneous color, but then I would pick out and go, oh, that's a slightly darker area, that's a lighter area to use for different shading. And yeah, nervous. I have not planned out what I'm doing here. I've done nothing to this since I seen you last week. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it works. Now, another thing you can do with the blending, if you don't want the stripes, you just want an easy, nice blend, a nice thing you can do when it's tops, I just go like sideways and pull it and stack it, and then that just really scrambles up the colors a bit more. It looks like I started doing before I came live on air, and I was sitting just blending this color, and I thought, oh, I better actually come on air and show you what I'm doing. So we have Serena in the house, CJ and Carol. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. To sadly a second fundraiser week, but thank you all for donations last week. That was awesome, and hopefully we're helping getting some people some food. So yes, you can just about see the other thing I've done. I've tried to get in a bit of a closer angle for the camera. So I don't know if this is better. It does mean when I zoom out a bit, you can see everything here, but hopefully it looks okay. But we're going with a bit of a closer angle so you can actually see what I'm doing, because I was doing a whole lot of fine detail last week that you couldn't see. Right, so the first thing I want to do, I do have a picture that you saw in the thumbnail coming into this, and I'm just using this as a kind of idea, a kind of guide for what a sunflower looks like. And does this pen work on? Yes, it does. So what I want to do is do some petals in behind, but some flowers are very much, they have gaps as well. It's not completely filled in with petals. So I'm just trying to make it a little random if I can. There's no planning for this. I'm just adding some extra petals in, some that overlap, some that leave quite a gap, because we're going to put sky in behind, hopefully. And I think that's good enough. Right. Lisa's in the house. Hello, been a while since I caught a live. It has indeed. Good to see you. All right. So let's start adding this mess of colour that I've created and see how it works. We might have some happy accidents with it looking better than I hoped for. It might look terrible. We'll find out. I think that's going to work. I can go back in and add more yellow if we lose the highlights, but I want to separate the petals that are further back from the petals that are in front with a bit of shading. I think that's going to work. This is not going to be in my shop or anything. This is just a bit of fun for us. So if it doesn't work, then we can all have a laugh at how rubbish I am at doing 2D paintings. I've done, in my entire time needle felting, I have done about I've done 4 2D paintings. Oh, I did a couple with the Maker's Box. I've done about 6 2D needle felted paintings. So I'm not an expert on this, but we're just having a go. And I know a few of you did say last week that you appreciated me letting you know what I'm doing with shading and stuff. I assume everybody knows more than I do, so I kind of skip over bits, but I get that perhaps not everybody does actually know what I'm talking about. So if you weren't here last week, I am imagining the sun is at the top left-hand corner, which is the right because my camera's flipped it around. But for me, it's the top left-hand corner. So it'll be brightest where the sun's hitting here, and I've done some more shadows down here. That is what is in my head at the moment. I do think I'm going to have to brighten up the yellow petals, but we'll see. We'll see once we add the blue in as well. I think that's going to make a huge bit of difference. And what has everybody been working on this week? Let's have a roll call. What's everyone been working on? I, believe it or not, he is up with me. Yay. My shop, I finally caught up with all my orders, although I might have a big order just coming in. But I don't know if I shared this last week, but I've just created a project for the Creative Fabrica classes, if anyone's following along there. You'll get to see how to make this dragon, because of course, if someone's looking for me to make tutorials, I'm going to ask them if I can make a dragon. I've made quite a few dragons, but that one's like different from all the others I've made. So that's what I've been doing. But it's been nice not to have any orders to make, so I can just think of some flights of fancy. I nearly started making a horse, but I've not done so yet. As I say, I'm in talks. I've maybe got a bit of an extra order coming in that'll be quite a big one. I might even film it, because it could be, if it works out good, it could be really cool. So I might just film that. Lisa, will it be for wall art or will it stand? It's designed in my head. It is for wall art. I did a slightly 2D-ness just to help with the shading and everything, but yes, it's not really something that's designed to stand up on its own. Filling in the bits, that's kind of helping. I will need to add some more highlights. I think it's getting a little dull looking. I've overdone the shading. I overdo the shading quite often. But that is no problem. I've got, oh, that's a nice lighter yellow. That'll do for some highlights. But I just want to, it's good to get some sort of base colours down and see what you think of it, and then see what needs fixed. It's never going to be perfect. CJ, you've been working on a functional art. More details. I assume art that does things, that has a purpose. So yeah, let us know more what you mean there. There's a bit that's not been blended great, but which gives its own little version of highlights and things. That works for me. Yeah, CJ, so what kind of functional art? That sounds fun. Loves the dragon. Thank you so much. I love making dragons, in case you hadn't guessed. As I picked that up, there was a bit clump more brown there, so I've added that into the bottom so it's a bit more shaded. I think before I highlight and everything, I'll start putting the blue sky around it, and we'll see what it looks like, because it's always, when you add other colours and things, that changes things. So we'll see if adding the blue sky, if I still think this is too dark or not. I'm just working with whatever fibres that I have lying about, so it's not perfect. Right, here is my blue, so we'll just sort of outline in all the gaps, neaten up the petals first of all, and see if I utterly hate it or it's not too bad. And guys, tell me what you think, what it needs as well, because I'm just winging it. But it's lovely. It's too light a blue for Ukraine. The Ukraine, Ukrainia. But I still think it'll be pretty. And I brought up this time my box of blues and greens just in case I want to add some more shading. But I've got tons of this light blue, so I'm going to use, at least for around the sunflower, maybe we'll darken the edges a little bit. That'll be a good idea. Carol's making flowers from felt sheets to add to headdresses, hair clips, and wreaths. Oh, that sounds really cool. I had thought about I was actually going to see about making a 3D tulip, but I haven't got round to that. I haven't got round to so much. I'm very good at not getting round to things. But yes, I think felt makes gorgeous flowers, especially for headdresses and things. I think the blue is making a bit of a difference. What do you guys think? Is this... It's hard. I know I've not got enough lighting on this. Is it a bit too dark? A bit needs yellowing up. I will definitely think about that. But let me know. Leona, been knitting bags to be wet felted and making felted soaps. I've a trade show coming up, my first in person since November. Oh, good luck with that. I know my mum did some knitted stuff to felt it, and it works really nice. You know, you're knitting with real good quality wool, so you can wet felt it and make it into felt. It's very cool, actually. It makes a nice fabric. Actually, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea to make like almost felt sheets for working with. I'd never thought of that. Could maybe knit them and then use them in projects. Dragon swings, knitted felted dragon swings. That could be fun. I'm terrible at knitting, but it could still be fun. And especially in knitting wool, you get all sorts of lovely colours as well. Lisa loves making flowers from cardstock and foam sheets. Ooh, yes, that sounds good too. trying to keep this as neat as I can while also doing it reasonably quickly, which is not easy. CJ's been making art necklaces, art on rowing oars, and painting everything you can get your hands on. Fantastic. Art on rowing oars sounds nice. Sounds intriguing. And don't forget, guys, share your art. It doesn't just have to be needle felting in Pam Duffy's. I think it says Felting Friends on Facebook because Facebook's not letting me change the name just now, but there should be a link somewhere. And I'm still in Facebook jail, for anyone who doesn't know. I can post on Facebook, but apparently my posts get a smaller reach. I'm not allowed to advertise and I'm not allowed to go live on Facebook. I think I've got 8 more days in jail on Facebook. And the hilarious thing is, I dug in and I found out exactly what post it was that's got me limited. And it is absolutely hilarious. It was some kind of baby animal. I'm not sure what critter. Oh, I'm not sure what critter because you don't see the original thing, but I remember posting on it. And it was a little baby animal being fed something. And it was just so adorable. But it was and my comment on it, and YouTube shouldn't get me into trouble for this, I said, that is so cute when it's a baby animal, but if it was your partner, you'd want to murder them in their sleep for the noisy chewing. So yeah, I got put in Facebook jail for 30 days for inciting violence. Oh, I thought that was so funny. I've incited violence by suggesting that people wouldn't like it if their partners made the noise of this cute baby animal chewing. Oh, Facebook. Oh, that's much nicer with the blue around it. Or I think it is. Let me know. Let me know in the chat. This can be your sunflower as well. If you let me know how we're doing with it, what it needs doing. I think I've got a little bit more shading that I want to do, but I don't want to go too much because then we start making it look muddy and not sunflowery. But adding the blue has helped a whole lot. I think I'm going to I was thinking of making it darker around it, but that's not realistic for what a sky looks like. A sky would normally be darker on top, and I haven't left myself much space to do that. I'll give it a go. A little bit of blending. But yes, that's much better. Let's find a nice dark blue. I don't have much. Oh, I might. I do. Nope. I'm thinking I do, but I think that might be free felt rather than. No, it is. Oh, I've got too much wool going on. In the bottom of the bag here, I have it. Oh yeah, that is lovely blue. So we'll add a little for the top. I'm not going to make it the full width of this because you've got Sundays to get back to. So I'll add a bit of this blue neat along the top. Because skies, I see them, they tend to have a gradient going darkest at the top. I don't know how good I'll be able to blend this, mind you. Lisa's gone off of Facebook anyway. TikTok and YouTube for me. Hope I get out of Facebook jail soon. Me too. Yes, very unexpected. And yeah, I find most of my friends are on Facebook, so it's easier to keep up with everyone. But yeah, I'm definitely going off it. I don't know if anyone else has found, but it's constantly, when I got a new phone, it won't let my new phone log into the Facebook app, so I have to go through the browser. It just constantly gets stuck in a loop of asking me to confirm my identity. and it's done lots of other incredibly annoying things. So yes, I won't lie, I'm going off of Facebook myself. This is not the neatest blend, but I still think it'll look kind of cool. Probably, or it'll look terrible. It is quite a darker blue, but that's not looking bad as a blend goes, actually. Just layering some of the lighter bits over the darker bits. Yeah, that kind of works. So this isn't blended great, so I'm going, oh, there's a darker bit. I want to darken up this area, so I'm just sort of taking a pinch out. That's not bad. It's quite dark, but what we can do, just get a real, like a cloud, a real fine bit of the lighter blue to work on a bit more of a blend while trying not to lose my sunflowers. Yeah, it's kind of wispy and weird. I mean, painting with wool is so different than anything else because it's not quite. Oh yeah, it kind of. I suppose it gives an effect like a kind of oil paint, doesn't it? The way it goes down. Carol, hilarious, but 30 days is a bit steep. I know. I thought so too. That was a bit mean. See, hello there, Erica. Hello, good to see you. All right, we're just laying this background. If anyone's just joined us, we're just laying a wee background down to the sunflower to see what it needs. I've got some ideas, but I don't want to overwork it as well. Sometimes when I'm doing 2D art, especially, you're right up here and you're super close to it, and you kind of fiddle with it too much. What I like to do, can't do it just now, obviously, because I'm live on air, but I would take this and I would like sit it up at the bottom of the stairs or beside the tally or something and wander back and forward. See, from a distance, it looks really good. Wander backwards and forwards and see which bits actually, from that kind of distance, which bits are really annoying me and which bits I think are fine. Because when you're this close, you're like every niggly little bit bothers you, but once you step back a bit, it looks kind of good. Lisa, lovely textures coming through. Yeah, I suppose it's kind of got the serendipity, the bit of happy accident you get with a watercolor, but it gives the dark sort of texturedness, opaqueness of an oil paint, if that makes sense. I'm not an expert on painting in any way, shape, or form. But you can definitely build up and layer colours and textures and things. So it's very different than any other form of 2D art. I always forget. Remember and lift it up off of your felting surface, else your picture will stick to it forever. Yeah, so you probably want a slightly lighter blue here and blend it down even more, but I don't know, I kind of like that. I don't know why. It's weird, but I kind of like it. And I'm just using, this is my 3-needle tool just to get more stabbing done, get these fibers attached, and then we'll see what it looks like. Oh, yeah, I was gonna do. Just get my picture of the sunflower up, because this center bit is where the seeds have come out. So I just wanted to do a little shading, and also we can do a tiny bit of sculpting here as well, because it's felt. So I just want to. Oh, not that much. I just want to add a little bit of shadow in around here. Let's see if that works or not. Oh, that really does work, doesn't it? So that's adding depth to say that this center bit is like lower down, and as the sun's hitting here, the lip there is kind of in shadow. Really doesn't take much of adding fibers to get a bit of shading in, but I'm also going to go and felt round to lower this area physically as well as with shading. Yeah, I like that. And my computer's complaining about something. And then I'm back onto this. Oh, what was I going? I was going to ask something, and now I've forgotten it. I find it easier with a single needle still. You can have a hands up, everyone here. I can't remember. I know some of you do. Everyone who sells on Etsy, if you give me a hands up, I've maybe got a project that we can work on together. If you're happy for me to know some of your data, just let me know. I just want to not just say what like my data is, but just be able to say 24% of Etsy users who follow me find this or something. So let me know if you sell on Etsy as well. And if you don't sell, and if you don't, do you sell your art? And we've got a few people here who don't. Do you sell your art? Have you considered selling your art? Are you thinking of selling your art? Are you terrified with the idea of selling your art? Let me know. And if you do sell your art, if you would be willing, not necessarily in this chat, you could put it into the Facebook group or something. I'd just like to know, look at a big period of time. I'm not looking for any trade secrets or anything. I'd just like to know your breakdown of which traffic sources which traffic sources are coming from. So like look at a year, look at 2 years, look at whatever, and just let me know which percentage comes from Etsy search, which comes from the Etsy app, and then we can just have a spread of what's normal for everybody, because I get that all the time. People don't know what their amount of traffic coming from certain places is normal. Certainly, especially like a lot of people think that they should be getting more views from search than they are, or think Google SEO is way more important than it is, or millions of things like that. If you don't mind sharing that with me, that would be awesome. And it's not going to, you can send it to me in secret or whatever else, but it's not going to give anyone any secret information about your shop, because I'll compile it in to like an average of what everybody's got, and then that gives us all an idea. Leona sells on Etsy. CJ also. Carol has an Etsy store, but it's been on holiday for a good while. And Felt Wicked, Tobias. Selling but few sales. G'day. G'day. Yeah, it's hopefully that'll pick up. It just takes time and effort to get sales, sadly. Etsy and Ko-fi. Cool. I've not really. I know of Ko-fi. I've never looked into it. Sadly, everywhere else I've tried, I'm not like an Etsy stan. I don't think it's the best thing in the entire world, but everywhere else I've tried have just not been good for me at all. Just they either don't have customers, or they're just too complicated, or the people that are, they're like trying to sell on eBay. Yeah, that's not great. Although I was considering at some points, I won't do with this, but if I was making stuff, I could maybe, making stuff for videos, and I was actually making them properly, gluing stuff in and stuff, not like what I normally do, like half ass them. Yeah, if I was making stuff, then I could, at the end of a video, just stick it up on eBay and not really care if it sells or not. That's not a bad idea, because we is overflowing a bit. I don't think I would sell the maker stuff. I might, because I'm running out of space, but I don't think I'd sell the maker stuff. But if I was making stuff, my own pattern, like this, out of the fevered imagination, it's not bad. It's not what I thought of in my head, but it's not bad. Lisa's, pay attention, Pam. Lisa's building your own website. Etsy still on the cards as a possibility. I'm just selling one-offs on TikTok, family and friends, until I launch my website. There's a secret. Ooh. And TikTok's working for you. I've just started doing little bits on TikTok. I think it's going to be a great place, especially if you're good at making videos to market your stuff. I think it could be awesome. It's just finding the time to do all that for me. But yeah, I think it's really cool, and not necessarily everybody's got the hang of it yet. So that's always good as well, if you can get in before everybody else. Right, I want to, I think, highlight, make a bit more yellowy some of these petals. So where this is a brighter one, let's mix it with a bit of white. That's off-white. Let's mix it with a bit of bright white so we can have some highlights. Just because I want to make the front leaves a little bit more brighter. Now, I'm imagining like these petals will sort of be slightly curved back. So with the sun coming in from this angle, they'll be a little brighter at the top and a little darker at the bottom, is my imagining. And the bottom ones, the sun is going to catch at these tips. So we'll see how this works. Might look terrible. Don't care. It's just a little flight of fancy for a Sunday. Let's see what this does. I'll do a few bits. Oh yeah, that does show up as a highlight. That's good. Just to brighten them up a tiny bit, and then I can go, maybe I will, maybe I won't, go and add a bit more lighter yellow to the back ones a tiny bit. Oh, Tobias, TikTok bans successful channels for the most vague reasons. Oh no, don't tell me TikTok's another nasty one. I am fed up of platforms that are doing random bans. So now as I'm working around, I'm thinking the sun's going to hit the top of this area of the leaves, and it's darker at the bottom. Lisa, watch the live. So many different people doing, selling, packing. Yeah, I do not understand it myself, but so many people love just packing video, how I pack my orders type videos. I suppose that might be something I might be able to do. I've been having fun with the stop motion, and I'm just thinking a little dog sculpture, like wrapping himself up in these bubble, like pulling himself into the box and wrapping himself up in his bubble wrap might be actually quite cute. And the other thing you can do with all of that, of course, is on TikTok and a lot of the platforms, you get to add fun music to it. So could be a good way to get noticed with some of the trending music of the time. Sounds fun. I might give it a go, make some packaging videos. But yeah, they can be strict for banning. I don't need another site that hates me for threatening people for chewing loudly. It's just no good. All right, just think the sun would just catch here. And that's brightened it up a little bit. And tiny little bits at the very tip. I'm probably overdoing this, but I've not felted flowers in forever. I've not done pictures of flowers like since I was at school, so I'm trying to remember what we're supposed to do here. I need my sister. She's actually the artist of the family. Like, Dawn, come here and tell me what to do. What I think I might do. All right, guys, let me know in chat. I'm thinking I could just sort of outline this in black, have it as a drawing rather than trying to make it look realistic. It doesn't look realistic, I'm aware of that. So I could outline it in black and that would separate everything nicely, because some of the petals are getting lost, although I really like the center bit, the 3D effect. Tobias, TikTok is owned by a major Chinese company using weird algorithms. Oh, of course, yes, that it was going to get banned and stuff, wasn't it? Because it's China. Yes. But I don't really trust any company and whatever data they're saving, but at the same time, they're not really going to learn a whole lot from me. I'm not very interested. I don't think seeing my felted animals is going to be of much use to foreign governments. But yes, I forgot they were China owned. I have no problem with that. I'm very upset that all the trouble with China owned things meant that I couldn't get another Huawei phone because they were amazing. And the one I've got is just not, it's all right. It's just not as good as my last 3 Huawei phones. And the camera on them was so awesome. I think I over darkened the top now. Let's add some more wisps of blue all the way. So the blue just pops through. Should have blended that a whole lot more. I should also take my own advice and step back, shouldn't I? All right, let's step back. What do we think? Oh, it's all right. Yeah, I just think I've got a bit too dark, but it's difficult because I don't have the right colours and I didn't sit and blend them enough. Elisa, all the socials are a little odd. I just stay out of trouble and use them for fun and good stuff. Are you saying I was a troublemaker? Yeah, I try and stay out of trouble as well. I think the biggest thing, and a few more of my friends are having this as well, on Facebook they changed the rules and then they're retrospectively getting us into trouble for things that we did before the rules were changed. So that makes it a little difficult. Like, I broke a rule when it wasn't a rule, and well, even now, making a joke about a cute baby animal. Yeah, very weird. But I think this is going to be happening a whole lot more. I know Facebook's doing this because it's getting into trouble for bullying, not controlling bullying as much as it could have done. So that's the reason this is happening. I do understand it. Don't enjoy it, but I do understand it. I'm just trying to do this cute mandala-y thing in the center a bit more. Hello there. Good to see you. This bit is so fiddly. I don't know if it's even going to be worth it. I think it'll still show up, and also all this felting will reduce the volume of this center bit a bit, because I did go a bit too harsh with the size of it. So if you missed last week, I made a kind of spirally mandala thing in the center, because on a close look in the center of the sunflowers, where all the sunflower seeds have kind of been, well, not fallen away, I suppose little beasties have, little birds or something have eaten them away, but from the center you can see how the seeds are attached, and it's kind of in a really cool sort of spirally, circly way. So I was trying to recreate it, but I think it's just a little bit too detailed to really show up madly, but it's helping shape this at least. I think, well, you can kind of see it, can't you? So yeah, this is an unnecessary amount of detail, but it made me happy. Lisa agrees. Facebook were harsh on me. They were. Poor me. Oh, thank you. Tobias is loving the center. Yeah, I think I would have preferred what I was planning to do had I got them. With the leaves, I was going to make them as separate and attach them, so it would be a 2D, 3D type piece, and I think that would have looked better. I do think, would outlining totally kill this? I think I've lost some of the details in the petals, so I want to maybe bring them, make it look more like a sketch. Yes, no, maybe? We'll give it a go. We'll see if this looks better or looks worse. I think I lost my way a bit with the center, so we'll see if making it look like it's drawn will look better. Or is that just making it too dark? Let's outline some of the bits at the top and see if that looks worse or better. Because I can always take it off if I hate it. But yes, making the petals slightly 3D, I think, would have been better. The center was the bit I was most worried about. I thought the petals would be super easy. But they decided not to be. What do you think, guys? Black lines, not black lines? Yeah, I think you're right, Tobias. With the brown instead of the black. The black's maybe a bit too harsh. You could be right. I'm looking what colours brown I've got. Or if I've just used the same brown as we've been using. I've got so much wool that I need to tidy up here. And also this is top, so it's a bit easier than bats. to get a nice thread. My yellows just fell over onto me. Right, let's give that a go. I'll go around the tops and see what that looks like. Yeah. Oh, Lisa, thank you, saying it's looking really good. It's not what I had in my head, so that's bothering me, but I'm being too harsh on it, I know. But as you see, the good news is if I do a bit that I don't like, I can just rip it out and start again, or cover it over with a different colour. Yeah, brown's a little less harsh. We'll see how that works. At least around the outs, the further forward petals to really bring them out a little bit. I think I'll like. It's going to be a dark one. I can see that, but I think I might like this a bit better. Just to bring them out. And if you've just joined, this is just a little bit of fun, a fundraiser for the World Central Kitchen, which is currently in countries around Europe just now to help with the refugees coming out of Ukraine. So to make sure that people get a decent meal at the least, I figured we can look at other charities for later, but getting a good meal is the first most important thing. So thank you so much for everyone who donated last week. I totally appreciate that. But also, if you can't donate, just thank you for joining me. I have turned off advertising on these streams, so you're not bothered with ads, but I don't want to be making anything out of these videos. This is just a bit of fun for us to come together, hopefully create something that looks a bit good. Hopefully create something and do a bit of good. Tobias looks much better. Thank you. Yes, I think that works a little bit. It was getting a bit lost. Yeah, I think that pops the petals out. Carol, love the detail and the shading and the 3D. Mine's looking a bit flat and too uniform. Not necessarily a bad thing. It's good to lay down all the colours, and then you can add a bit of shading and a bit of highlighting and everything, and rip up the bits you don't like as you go along. As I said, this doesn't look like what it was supposed to look like in my head, but it looks like a sunflower. So we've done something. Obviously, it's not very firmly felted. There's still a whole load of texture in the sky. You can felt away till it becomes like a smooth sheet. Another thing that would have actually been cool would be to wet felt it, bung it in the washing machine or something, and wet felt it, and then do all the details again to get it sort of a nice solid shape, and then add the details that you lose when you felt it. Round to it. Thanks for your stream. Great to know there are good people out there. Oh no, thank you for joining me. This is very literally the least I could do. We stream anyway, so if we can do a bit of good on a Sunday stream, then why not? I'm sure everybody's been watching the news and wanting to see what we can all do to help. So any little bit that helps. Yes, I definitely lost track of where the petals were there. So it is good to separate them out a bit. Yep. And then it's not bad. I just had a different picture in my head that was going to be so bright and cheery and sunflowery, but that's all. I should remember as well, like when I started needle felting, I saw all these people that make beautiful, realistic sculptures, and I used to get mad because whenever I made some mine and I'd post them up in groups, and they would go, "That's so fun, that's so cartoony," I was going for realism. But then sometimes you've just got to go, okay, well, the wool's going to do what the wool's going to do, and yeah, I've never been good at realism. Let's be honest. So I should lower my expectations and realize we're not going to get realism. We're going to get whatever the wool wants to be, and this is what it's chose to be. But equally, I didn't know if in a couple of hour live streams we were going to get anything done. So we do have some kind of a sunflower at least. And normal service will be resumed next week. Still could do a fundraiser, could still make it a fundraiser, but we will get onto the maker's hippopotamus kit with the posable jaw. I am looking forward to having a go at that for sure. But I just had an idea for a sunflower and wanted to run with it. So here it is. But I am so looking forward to doing the hippopotamus. Yeah, I'm going to try and not make these lines too harsh. I've maybe overdid it, but it is really surprising for me when you're colouring with wool as opposed to normal colouring, but just the tiniest bit of fibre adds a shadow or a highlight or something. You really want to go in light-handed, which I didn't quite do, but hey, round to it. Is this going up for auction? I hadn't thought of that. Is this something anybody would want? Let me know. I'm not sure. I hadn't thought of it. I suppose I could. Not entirely sure it's something that anybody would want. It was just a bit of fun. But we do have something nearly completed there. I suppose a bit of a stormy sky at the top makes sense considering what's going on, and then a little bit of a I should, if we're outlining things, I should go round the thingamabie. Should go around here as well, shouldn't I? Because if I was drawing it with a pen, I would have drawn that. So this is a weird mixture of a kind of sketch and a kind of 3D and a kind of 2D. Okay, yeah. I think I'll say it's better than I feared, but not as good as I hoped. I think that sounds fair. I feared I was going to not be able to make anything at all, but I hoped I was going to be able to make something amazing, and we've got somewhere in the middle. And it does need a lot more felting. Let's go at a distance again. It's a sunflower. I think the outline definitely helped, didn't it? Now you can see the petals and everything. Yeah, whoops. We're sticking on the lovebirds. They're just wanting to come in. Yeah, from a distance, actually, that's not too hideous. I should keep on taking my own advice. For anyone, it's really good to take a step back because I can see every single little imperfection here, but then send it way over there, and suddenly it looks actually not too bad. So there we go. I shouldn't have put the camera in so close today. I should have put it further away, and then I wouldn't feel so bad about it. Oh, Tobias, thank you. Don't sell yourself short. And CJ likes it. Oh, you guys are too kind. Thank you. I hope it's helped anyway. We've done a little bit of shading as you can see the basics, like making the petals behind a little bit darker. That sends them a little further back, and the direction of the light and stuff. I don't know. It all seems really basic to me, but I don't know what anyone else knows. I spend way too long watching YouTube videos and trying to learn everything. Lisa, oh, thank you. Honestly, since you added the brown, it came to life. Yeah, it does separate the blue from the yellow, which was what I hoped. Alison, thank you so much. Looks great. Oh, you guys are all far too kind, but thank you. I totally appreciate it. But yes, it's definitely a sunflower, so I'm happy with that. I think my biggest problem is I choose pictures that look amazing and then I create them like they're never going to look as amazing as the picture. And also because this is felting, I'm wanting to sculpt the leaves. I don't like them being flat. It's annoying me. But I think it would be great fun to make a sunflower, like super easy. Just make a little dome and then you could make petals with the water-soluble paper or pre-felt and just cut them out and then add colour and stuff. Oh, Lisa, yeah, good point. Stem or no stem? I can add a stem. Do we want a floating sunflower or do we want a sunflower with an actual stem? That is a very good point that I hadn't thought of. I think it does need attached to the ground, doesn't it? I don't have many green colours. Yeah, we can. Are you a lighter green? Come here. Are you lighter or are you the same colour? A little bit lighter. There we go. We can do some shading. I don't think I've got room for some leaves. I should have left some room, but let's bug on a stem. So that's the lighter colour. Did not leave much room for this. I think they have fairly chunky stems, and as that's coming out of the back, it needs just a little bit shading. And a little bit lighter down this side. Oh, excuse me. That is not really much of a difference between the two. Oh yeah, because I started with a light. I'm an idiot. So a little bit darker down this side. Yes, they are different colours. There we go. And I'm even going to highlight the stem with a tiny bit of yellow as well. Let's see if that works. Yay, that did. Because the sun would be catching this side as well. Right. And we have to line it. Lisa, you feel the pressure. Only add it if it's your decision. Oh no, you're right. It did require a stem, and I will, as I've outlined everything else, I will have to outline the stem. had I planned in advance, I should have added a little more room, or I could have even done this the other way around. Should have added a little more room. It's supposed to add some leaves as well, but there's a stem. Ginger brown accents in the stem. Yes, you're right, I'm going to add just a little bit sort of shading and stuff that looks very dark on camera. At least a few, it looks good. That's the point, this is a collaborative effort between all of us, so you guys have to put in your ideas as well, and then we're all responsible if it doesn't work. But yes, that stopped it just like floating in midair. What could like work really well, actually, you could have laid down the blue sky and then like just gently felt some sunflowers, some yellows and some oranges and some greens, and then wet felt the whole thing so that becomes like a blurry background, and then put the in focus sunflower in front. That might have been cool. I think I want even more of the yellow down that side, just so it shows up. There, that's kind of better. And I'm going to, this might work, this might not. I'm going to shade it with the darker blue as well. See how that works. Tobias is saying shades of Van Gogh. I suppose it is Van Gogh, Van Gogh, however you say it, Van Gogh. Here we go, adding a little bit of blue into the shade and a little bit of yellow into the highlight. It does look a bit Van Gogh-y, I suppose. Oh, I wonder if he hated his work. Yeah, I wonder if like Van Gogh wished he could paint like Turner, and Turner wished he was a bit more like somebody else. I bet you they did. Everyone wanted their work to look a little bit different than what it looked like. Let's. Oh, I actually like that when it's far away. Yeah, that's cool. Yay. After the lovebirds like attaching to it. Yeah, that kind of works. Okay, right. Yeah, all that's left is to basically felt over it until these aren't fluffy bits, because just now half of the sky I could just lift off dead easy. It's not very well felted in, but apart from that, it's really done. Yeah, so guys, yeah, thank you so much for joining me. This has been an interesting, a very different 2 weeks. I can't stop fiddling with things. Thank you all for your support and everything as well, but thank you for joining in and letting us try something a bit different and a bit fun. Yeah, like I say, next week we will be back onto the Maker's Kit. Our normal operations will resume, but that was something different. That's that's something I've never done before. I've winged it. I didn't even trace the picture. I drew it by hand. Yeah, why not? That was fun. And if anyone else makes a sunflower, feel free to share it, and especially, well, not especially, if you make it in a different medium as well, that would be cool to see also. I can't stop felting things. Lisa, oh, thank you so much. Thanks, Pam. That was fun. As usual, take care. Yeah, guys, you have a great week. Thank you so much for joining me. Give us a thumbs up if you like the sunflower. Give us a thumbs down if you think it's awful. But yeah, thank you so much for joining. This has been fun. It's been different, but have a great Sunday. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week.